and welcome here to TalkFCB, and welcome back to a full Barça news roundup here, guys, ahead of match day on Monday. We've also got some big transfer news to talk about. We're going to be talking about Raphinha's situation in some detail, the debate surrounding his future at the club. We're also going to be talking about Frenkie de Jong and that entire operation that is going on right now, along with Robert Lewandowski. And this is where things get really interesting right now. And when I say interesting, what I really mean is concerning when we are looking at his current contract. All of that is going to be coming your way today. Sit back, try and relax, and let's do this. But I do want to kick off, of course, with some thoughts ahead of tomorrow's game. Once again here, Barça playing on Monday night. We will be playing at home against Real Sociedad. This here is our penultimate home game of the season, live from Montjuic at 9 PM local time. And this one here, it's still a big game for Barça, although it feels as though, oh, well, the season is kind of over. It's kind of petering out. But this is still very important because Girona slipped up on Friday away at Alaves. And that means here that Barça, looking at the table, can return to second place with a win over Real Sociedad, which won't be easy, but it's something that we do have to do. With just 3 games to go after this one, it's vital that we get the win here and go back into second, because obviously, guys, finishing in second, not what we want, not what we dreamt about, not really what we want to talk about doing, but it's important from an FFP point of view there, in terms of not only finishing second, the La Liga prize money, but you'd also then qualify for the Super Cup, which, like I say, from FFP point of view, it's very, very important, because there have even been reports there that say that if Barca finished in third, if we failed to finish second, we would then struggle to return to the 1-for-1 ruling this summer in La Liga. That would be a real problem for our transfer window, so that makes Monday's game very important. But of course, right now, guys, there is plenty of transfer news swirling around that we've got to discuss here on the channel, and I want to start here with Raphinha's whole situation, because as we know, there's been lots of sort of signals from inside of the club, and certainly here in the media, that Barca still very much open to letting him go this summer. It's not as though they want to force Raphinha out because he's not performing, but I think mainly they're looking to cash in on him. They see him as a player there that can generate big, big money from a number of different clubs who are interested, and Barca would like to make that happen. Now, we do know there's big interest from Saudi Arabia, who would be willing, of course, to offer big, big money to get Raphinha, but that apparently is not an option for him. Raphinha there is not considering joining a Saudi Arabian club. He would not be willing to go down that road this summer, so that's kind of shut off right now. That doesn't look like happening at all. But what we have heard over the weekend is that Raphinha may be open to a Premier League move, though. He may feel a bit differently if it was the right Premier League club, and Raphinha there would like to see somebody with big sporting ideas who are looking to compete there on all fronts, and of course the economic side would have to be right as well. But I think overall, guys, even though Raphinha may be open to the Premier League, he may be thinking, okay, if a big offer comes there, I might consider it. In general, he wants to stay. That remains his priority. He wants to remain at Barca. He feels as though he's got more to give here, and it seems as though it would take a big offer from the Premier League, it would take a very attractive offer there, maybe from one of the big clubs, and it would take Barca pushing him out, really forcing him out in order to see him leave this summer. And what I'm wondering right now, guys, is looking at Raphinha, looking at the way that he performed there during our best month there of the season, and there was important moments there, decisive performances from him. Do you feel as though that was a hot streak from Raphinha, just an element there of confidence that was going through him? He was able to put together a real run of form, and that's all that it was? Or do you think it's something more? Do you feel as though Raphinha is capable of playing at that level for a consistent period, for maybe a whole season there? Is he actually able here to give even more in a Barcelona shirt? Could we see him go up to another level? Because if he can, you shouldn't be thinking about selling him. You know, the way that he was playing, he was one of our most important players in our best spell of the season. Why would you sell him if you thought he could actually do that on a week-by-week basis? Is there more to come from his game consistently? Or was it just a run of form? Was it just a rush of confidence? And should Barca be now looking to cash in? Because there is interest in him. There will be people who are really impressed by him. Is now the time to pick up the money? Let me know which side you're on. Is Raphinha a top player with even more to give? Or should we look to capitalise on what was a run of form? Because then we do move on to the topic once again of Frenkie de Jong, who does turn today 27 years old. Very happy birthday to him. And really, time flies in football, doesn't it, guys? Because it seems only yesterday here that we were celebrating the signing there of a young Frenkie de Jong, talented youngster coming in from Ajax to Barça. And here we are today now, 27 years old, and big questions about where is he going to be on his 28th birthday in footballing terms? Because obviously, we spoke a few days ago about the concerns about his contract there that expires in 2026. Could he really let that run down? Could we really lose Frenkie de Jong on a free transfer once 2026 comes? Is that a genuine concern for us right now? Because what we're hearing once again in the media from the side of Frenkie de Jong is that he doesn't want to leave. He wants to stay at Barça. He does not think about leaving the club once again this summer. He's very happy at the club. He's happy in the team. He's very settled in the city with his family, and he intends to fulfill his contract at the club. Now, look, I've got no problem here with players who want to stay at Barça, who want to stay and show what they can do. They want to perform. They want to push themselves. That's absolutely fine. But my question would be here, if you want to stay, if you're happy here, if you want to be at the club, then why wouldn't you look to sign a renewal now then? Why wouldn't you want to extend that stay for even more years? And that is where the red flags start coming in. Because what we're hearing right now, both Rack1 and MD over the past few days, they say that Deco has made Frenkie de Jong, and has done now for a while, a renewal offer at Barça, but there's been no answer. There has not been a single murmur from Frenkie de Jong's camp about that new deal. There is no willingness right now to negotiate, to even talk about extending his stay at the club. And like I say, if you're happy here, if you want to be at Barça, why would you not think about extending? That is really concerning there for me. And that is why the alarm bells are now ringing inside of the club. That is why you're hearing in the media, Frenkie de Jong, he's up for sale. This summer, the club have actively put him on the transfer market. They are looking for offers. They're looking there at Man United, wondering if they're going to come back in. And from inside of the club, they now see Frenkie as a transferable player. He is no longer untouchable. He is no longer there somebody that will stay no matter what they are concerned. And I think they have every right to be there, given how our financial situation is, given here you've got a contract that is running down. Barça have to take control. And what we are hearing now is that de Jong is transfer listed. But of course that doesn't change his approach. That doesn't change here the stance that Frenkie has. If he doesn't want to leave, Barça have limited options in what they can do. Because then we move to Robert Lewandowski. And again, guys, the concern is there right now, and there are several players at Barça in this moment right here, whereby these are big moments, big months right now in terms of the club and our financial situation, because there's been lots of talk here as well about Robert Lewandowski's future over the past few days in the media. What we were hearing throughout the weekend is that Barça, they were quite open there about Lewandowski leaving the club. They weren't going to object to a move away, but what they were very keen not to do was force him out. They did not really want to put pressure on Lewandowski to leave, but they were openly saying, look, if you want to go, if there's somewhere out there that you'd rather be than Barça, if you want to take one of these big offers coming in, we won't stand in your way. Because it was also reported that Xavi too would not be against Lewandowski leaving the club. He has doubts there apparently as to whether Lewandowski can recapture his very best level. And Xavi also knows that if Lewandowski were to leave the club, his exit there would free up significant salary space for new arrivals coming in this summer. However, Lewandowski's going nowhere. Let's make that absolutely clear here. Today his agent came out, Pini Zahavi. He said, look, these exit rumours, they are nonsense. It is completely fake news. Lewandowski is staying at Barça 100% next season. It is guaranteed Lewandowski will be at the club. So I don't think here Lewandowski is going to be leaving. It's very, very clear and easy to say that. But one of the big problems that we have, even with him staying now, it's that contract that he's on. Because would you be surprised to know that Lewandowski, every year that he spends at the club, every year that he gets older, he's going to be 36 years old this summer, every year his salary increases. as he gets older, meaning that next season he will earn more than he did this season. And right now he is set to earn over 30 million euros in gross salary next year. That is massive money, and to have that increasing contract is quite extraordinary. And right now his contract is set to expire in 2025. Next season could be his last at the club, but it will automatically be extended for one more year until 2026. Lewandowski plays a minimum of 45 minutes in 55% of the games next season. So right now what you're saying is Lewandowski's definitely staying. He's not going anywhere. He's going to be in Xavi's team for next season. Because of that, we won't really be able to sign any other top striker. You've then got the Vitor Roque situation whereby Barca don't even want him, so you're going to have to rely on Lewandowski, which then means that if you play him for actually a lot of the season, he's staying for another year at the end of it. And not just another year, but it would still be on huge money, on huge wages, even though it would be an optional year in that contract. And Lewandowski will be turning 37 years old at that time. He would still earn 26 million in gross salary. This is staggering. This is an absolutely unbelievable situation that we've got ourselves into, by the way. Laporta knew exactly what he was doing when he handed out that contract, and Barca got big problems here. And that is why, again, I do not understand the thinking with Vitor Roque, because if you don't want to solely depend on Lewandowski, you need somebody else there. You need other options in the squad, and why would we actively want to get rid of an option so that we don't have to solely depend on him? Because Lewandowski, if he plays next season, and look, if he's there, if he's available, Xavi probably is going to play him, he is going to extend that deal and only increase that contract. Unbelievable. And I want to know your thoughts right now, guys. I really do want to know your thoughts on each of these situations here, on Raphinha, on Frenkie de Jong, and especially on that Lewandowski situation. Let me know what you're feeling, what you make of all of that. I will see you soon for some reaction tomorrow after the Real Sociedad game. Thank you, though, indeed for watching, for all of your support here, guys. But until next time, as always, Visca, Real Barça.